Oh, we're on, cool. Excellent. Hello everybody, how is everybody doing? Sorry about the little bit of a late start. I had a bit of an accident. Always rushing around, there's a cable on the floor, I tripped over it, I thought nothing was wrong, but that camera, well not that camera, the camera's on the floor now, had... In pieces, yeah. I thought the leader just pulled out, but I actually buggered up the socket where the HDMI cables go in, so that camera's absolutely cream crackered. But I could sell it actually, if somebody wants to record on it, just can't do HDMI on it. Anyway, so...
Oh, I thought of an application for it actually.
Cool, excellent, exactly, well done.
Thank you.
And I want to say wavelength is you, my dear. So that's the reason I don't have a close-up camera because now that is my close-up camera that I'm working on now. And someone said, I hope Andrew hasn't hurt himself. No, I am fine. The only thing that it's going to hurt is the bank balance because we've got to buy another camera. So let's have a look. Louise, are you okay over there?
I am, yes. I'm just trying to get some photographs. We were talking about the gem loop yesterday and I've got some photos which I could show you that I took with my gem loop.
Oh, yes, and I've got something else as well to share with you as well. So it's, as usual, it's all systems go here. You may have seen on social media, you have to actually want to look at my phone. You may have seen on social media, on the ABJ website and also on At The Bench, is that we have, so I'll let you talk about it because I'm absolutely rubbish, Louise.
We are really excited to be expanding our team.
We are.
Yeah, so yeah, this is really exciting for us. We're looking for somebody on a part-time, short-term contract to help us out for 3 months in the ABJ workshop. Not this in the mess and chaos downstairs, where all the real work happens. So we need somebody for a period of 3 months, 3 days a week, I think.
What we're looking at initially.
Yes, to do or help us with repairs, commissions, and basically help us. Not drowning in work, which is a lovely problem to have, isn't it? But
absolutely.
Yeah. So
that is the reason why we are all of a commotion, because it has just been so busy and manic here today. So yeah. Sorry, Louise. Yes.
So yes, basically you get experience of working in our workshop, and you get all our help and support.
Get to work with me, with you.
Yeah, with Lee.
So we got a very exciting team with Sharon as well, and
who's the retail expert, isn't she?
She's the retail side of things, but yeah, but bench side we want. I'll let you talk about it because I'm going to jump in and say things.
What? No, go on. I don't know what you're going to say. Oh, somebody, yes, with preferably a minimum of 3 years experience. So it's going to be somebody who has experience in repairs and commissions.
Yes.
And that's about it really, isn't it? Yes. So it's an exciting opportunity, it's an exciting development opportunity for somebody, I think.
It is, and it's going to expand their knowledge as well.
And experience.
Sorry guys, I know I can see stuff on the screen, but I just want to zoom in on Louise a bit. She was a bit far out.
Yeah, so yeah.
So that is what it is. And you may be asking, how do you find out more information? How do you get more information on this and what's it all about and how do I apply? It's simple. All you got to do, no, that's wrong. Yes, okay, yeah, I've done that, haven't I? So what you want to do, overhead, wrong one, which one is it? It's the board, that one there. We want you to send a CV and a covering letter and also some photographs, some examples of your work and
any information you think is going to, it's at the minimum a CV and a covering letter introducing yourself, and yeah, anything else that you think.
And if you've got good experience with taking nice photographs,
yeah,
social media's got to be important as well. You can send what we've asked you to jobs@andrewberry.co.uk. We've had people apply already, so jobs@andrewberry.co.uk. Or if you want to find out more information, go to, I should have had a shortened name, andrewberry.co.uk/jobs.
Or you could just email me or email the jobs at Andrew Berry, because that'll come through to me anyway, and I'll
yeah,
if you've got any questions about it. But I'm excited because we always learn things from new people as well, don't we? It's like a 360-degree thing. So like Lee came here and I've learned loads from Lee. and it's just lovely to have new people, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You know, the team we've got is amazing, but everybody brings different things, don't they?
They do, they do. So there you go. So that's all we want to say. andrewberry.co.uk/jobs to find out more information, and if you want to send in your CV, covering letter, examples of work, social media, all those sort of things, jobs@andrewberry.co.uk. That's it. And I hope you all had a lovely Easter. You know what, Louise? You had your...
I took my loop off and I've got myself in a mess. Yeah, okay.
Hope you all had a lovely Easter, lovely weekend and a nice Easter. Thanks to everybody who placed orders on the store as well. I think we managed to get out about a third of them, just over a third of the orders today, so we've got the rest of them to do over the next day or so. Yeah, and that's about it. Louise has just quickly zoomed up on the chat so I can't see, so I can't jump in and see what's what. So yes, Louise was talking about, she's got pictures of what she's taken with the gem loop, with the app as well, and without the app.
I've sent them in. Let me. Shall I get these ready?
Why not? And if you want to take part, no, not take part. If you want to buy anything from Gem, so Pickup Media, darling. Get yourself sorted out. If you want to buy anything from Pickup Media, so pickupmedia.com, I have a discount code that you can have that I think gives you free shipping. I think it's free shipping, or there's money off. I would have to just double check. Let me have a look. I know a friend of mine used that and he had $30 off. So the code is simply @thebench. So if you want to pop as well, so much information to give you guys today. So @thebench. So if you're interested in a gem loop, gem light box, gem light box of clip, gem macro and all those sort of things, that is the coupon code that you want to enter at the Pickup Media website, and that will give you a discount, because the guys at Pickup Media have been very kind and kindly put together a discount code. I think that gave did I just say £50 off? $50 off. Whether that's off shipping and whether that's a product, I'm not quite sure. The products are very good. Some people say you can do the same and use Photoshop and all that sort of thing. But to be honest, I don't have time to be faffing around with other apps, other this, that and the others. But the product images that they produce are fantastic, and Louise is going to show us a little bit later on. Aren't we, Louise?
If I can get the photos up. In fact, I've got some of them in out, but
do a bit later.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah. Give you time to.
There they are. Okay, yeah. Actually, I've got them now. If anybody wants them now.
I tell you what. Let us have a look at them now. So what are we going to be looking at, Louise?
Okay, so if I show, this is obviously one on my finger, and it's funny because last week we were talking about
laptop.
This was taken, and bear in mind, I am not a photographer, and not very good. Well, I say I'm not very good at taking. I'm still learning a lot, aren't I? But this is, I think, a reasonably good. There's a bit of hair there, and you can see my hairy finger. That's how good it is. So don't look at that.
Hasn't been touched up at all.
No, but it's, that's kind of warts and all, isn't it? But it's tanzanite and diamond, so you can get really close up. But that was taken in the app. But personally, I prefer to use it outside of the app. Can you?
That one. Yeah.
I don't think I can scroll through these though.
Okay.
So I'll have to just close them.
That looks a lot better.
I like to use.
What's that taken with? The gem loop.
Just the gem loop.
Do we have that? Shall I go and get that?
Yeah, this was taken with the gem loop, independently of the app. So literally just gem loop, and then on my camera phone, and away you go. So. That one's not so great. And bearing in mind, I know literally, and I know virtually nothing about. That's not great, Louise. I know virtually nothing about. That's not great either. As you can see, I know virtually nothing about photography, but the balance is off a bit on that one. Perhaps it would have been better to show Andrew's, but it just goes to show that with a bit more time.
Yeah. I know we're plugging this, but people have asked us, was it last week, show us the app. We're interested in photography. It's something that we're going to be doing with our workshops as well. and I know you can simply get a light box with the lights around you and whatever, daylight, or go outside, or then touch up in things like Photoshop or whatever app you've got. But it's everything to do with setting it all up, importing the photographs onto your computer, touching up this, that and the other. And we find that what we use is as you can see, is the gem loop.
This is quite a good one to show because
there we go.
This is one on my vintage pre-owned website. It's just, I don't know where my screen, you're not seeing that, but yeah, so that's a baccarat crystal ring. So the photo, I'm pleased with the photos. I think there's a bit of dust in there, Louise, that's not great. But it's just so easy to take.
It is.
That was taken with the gem loop.
As well, yeah.
So
very clear.
A bit too clear sometimes for selling pre-owned jewellery. Yeah.
And that's really good, isn't it?
It is. It's a good photo, and like I say, hairy finger. There we are.
And these were just imported directly from. But they were just on your phone with your native phone app.
Yes. Yeah. I think this. I'm trying to think. Yes, these were taken independently of the app. That's not so great, but yeah, the first ones were taken with the gem light box.
Okay.
And these ones then were taken with the gem loop. Again, like I say, I'm not a photographer, but they're good clear photos, and that's a really good start, I think, isn't it?
Absolutely, and you do need good lights. So basically, this is the gem loop. It simply clicks onto your phone. You choose whichever camera it is, you put that over like that, and then it's got warm light, cool light, it's got different grades of lighting, different amounts of lighting, so forth. It's got what's a little lens on the front called the sparkles lens, and that produces lovely little starburst as well. It comes in a lovely little pouch. You can charge it up via USB, and it has all the information on there. It has a close-up lens with it as well. As I said, we're not selling it, but somebody was asking about it. A
couple of people asked last week, yeah.
Absolutely. So it all comes in a lovely little case like that. And as I said, if you go on to the Pickup Media website and put at the bench, I think you get a £50 discount, which is very nice of Rocky at Pickup Media. Is that about it?
I think so. It's cool, isn't it?
Do you need to say anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Apart from if anybody wants a job.
We've said that.
Did that.
Yeah.
That's it. Should we carry on then?
Okay, do you want a question?
Nope, not yet. I haven't started yet. It is, I don't know why I do this anymore. It is the 19th of April, 4 p.m. It's Tuesday. Bank holiday was yesterday. Time for our Q&A. Louise, let's have a question, please.
Okay. The first question is, Tanya, I am still having trouble setting my stones in my bangle. Should I buy a bezel set that you had in one of your demos? In the small box?
Yes, if you're setting them in within bezels, I find that box, do I have it up here? Don't think I do. But if you have that little bezel set, and it is really, really brilliant, you have to make sure that you support the piece. There's not much point like perhaps holding it in a vise and then tapping it down or rolling around, because you need to support it. And if you're doing a bangle, the bangle may bend, and it's only good if you're using them with bezels. And they're like huge beading tools. The ends are like that. That's like a section through it. Yep. So it's round like that, and it's like it's. Do you know what I mean? Then you put that over your bezel. The tool comes down like that. You can tap it, so it'll tap then the bezel a bit closer like that, or you can rock it and roll it around it, and it'll force the edge of the bezel over. I do like the tool. It's not cheap. We don't sell them yet on the store. We're still trying to get a supplier for them that we can get them for a good price. They are a good tool because they make sure that the bezel is nice and even all the way round, and I do like them. They're very good. As I said, you've got to support the piece, not just in a vise, but if you've got a bangle, put it upon your bangle mandrel to make sure that when you tap or when you burnish around the outside, the bangle doesn't bend. But it's only good for bezels. Yes, Louise, let's have another question.
Okay, Mary Ann is asking, is a Hammerham piece worth buying?
Depending on what you want to use it for. If you're using it to hammer over really heavy bezels, yes, you can use it for adding textures. You can put the little diamond tips into the anvils to produce like a starburst, scattered, shimmering effect, and it's very, very good for that. So if that is what you want to use it for, yes, it is very good. It is good for hammering over nice, thick, heavy bezels. You could just simply use a hammer and a punch and just a punch around it if you wanted to do it that way, but the Hammerham piece really does make a fantastic difference into the ability of just easing over the bezels all nice and evenly all the way around. Fordham sell them, Bedico sell them. Have I got them up here? I don't think I have any of these up here this time, but they're all downstairs. We have a Bedico or Bedeco or a Fordham. I would always go with the Bedeco. I say Bedico. Do you say Bedico or the Bedeco?
You say potato, I say potato. You say tomato, and I say tomato.
Okay, whatever. I prefer that over the Fordham, to be honest. The Fordham's great, but the Bedico, potato is a little bit more refined. But yes, it is very, very good, yes. Let's have another question.
Okay, Mariana is saying, do you have any solutions for filing flat for somebody with balance issues? Filing flat. I have epilepsy and struggle to get mirror flat surface on a different level. That lack of practice.
It is. This is the problem with geometric shapes. Things that the eye knows should be. It's very hard to make a cube. We've always had problems filing cubes because you file it, but the eye can see slight discrepancies. To try and file an exact circle, perfect circle, the eye knows. And to get a perfect surface, the easiest way of doing it, for argument's sake, I've got like a bench block, but that would be a piece of metal. The easiest thing to do would be to get your emery paper, put emery paper onto a flat surface, get your piece on a flat surface and move it back and forth. That way you will get a flat surface. If you're filing, I would hold it in a vise, something like a little vise on the side. And you can't quite see my acid pot is just in the way here, but I've got a little vise by the side of me, something like that you don't have to hold on to the piece whilst you file, because you've got this hand to contend with and this hand to contend with. So if you can have something where you can put it into the vise, fantastic. When you come to file, always hold the file at both ends. So say you're filing, you file. If you file like this end is free basically to do whatever it wants to do, but you need to hold it. And if you can stand in a foot forward position, so my left foot, like my socks, way. So my left foot is going forward. It's almost as if I'm doing this, feet flat on the floor, like this, and just file it flat. Come down, look, file flat, but don't keep filing flat for one direction. Come around, say for 90 degrees, and file it, and file it, and file it. And if you keep doing that, you should learn to file a flat surface. You can't necessarily do it straight away. It's something that you've got to train yourself to do. So don't just don't do that, because this end is going all over the place. Hold it. You can then do this. You keep your body sort of horizontal and so forth, and you should be able to file. If you've got different levels and you're trying to get this level down here flat, it's going to be a little bit harder, but if you can put it into a vise or into a clamp, into a GRS vise or GRS Benchmate to hold it, so you've got both hands and you can steady yourself. Perhaps don't even try and sit down, but stand up, and you then can put your feet flat to the floor, plant yourself, and then you should be able to file. Let's have another question.
Okay. Janet is asking, setting a large triangular crazy lace agate, cut out the back to reflect swirls on the stone. How would I create turnover bezel edge in a wave pattern without creases following the swirl pattern of the stone? Do you want to hear it again?
I need to see a picture, but you want to create a bezel?
It's a large triangular crazy lace agate, cut out back to reflect swirls on the stone. How would I create turnover bezel edge in a wave pattern without creases following the swirl pattern of the stone?
Without seeing the swirl pattern of the stone is going to be hard. I'm not quite sure what you mean exactly. Is the stone absolutely triangular with flat sides? If it is, that's great. You can then create, and perhaps, I don't know, they may have swirled, I don't know what, no idea what one looks like, to be honest. I've never seen one. But if the sides of the stone...
Would you like to see one?
If you've got one there, yeah.
You've seen a lace agate before.
Yeah, I know it's like a swirly one. But if you've got some like swirls on the top, I'm not quite sure how, you could always cut your bezel to reflect...
Wow.
To get... Let's have a look. Okay, so if you want to, you could then replicate the swirls on the side, and just because it's nice and straight then, so it's not going to be physically swirly, it's just the pattern. So you could, if the swirls are going round, you could always cut the bezel to match the swirly bits, yeah, like this, and then you can just burnish them over a little bit, and I think that's what you mean.
Is that what you mean, Janet? If
so.
Not, send me an email and we'll have a look at it for you.
Don't forget, always start on the corners and push towards the middle. Don't believe what anybody else says. You've got to start on the corners and then you burnish into here, you burnish into here. But I think if you can cut your bezel to match the swirls like that, and really, you don't really need to push these over, it's just the top areas here that you need to perhaps come over onto the stone. That's all you're really going to need. Okay, I think
Janet's
that's
saying,
what you mean.
I want some silver swirling up over the curved top, like silver waves.
Okay, so what you'd have to do is, the problem with that is it may get caught if it just comes up over the top and swirled. I don't know how we would do it, but you're going to find you may get things caught perhaps on top of the stone.
Send me a picky, Janet.
Yeah, send Louise a picture. Louise, oh, hardly yours, and you're gone now. Anyway, don't
You read me off.
I didn't. Jobs at andrewberry.co. No, it's Louise at andrewberry.co.uk. Send us a picture with an idea of what you're after, and we will certainly take a look and come back to you. Send another question, Louise.
Okay, Kevin is saying we have had good success with cuttlefish casting.
Hey.
Yeah, yes, great. But we cannot get the metal to flow with Delft clay. What are we doing wrong?
Okay, so the thing with Delft clay, it is different, and we've got a workshop coming up on week today, I do believe, isn't it? Tuesday?
No, is it?
No, 2 weeks. No?
Yeah.
2 weeks.
No, it's a week Monday, isn't it?
It's a week Monday. Workshop coming up. It is all about sand casting, Delft clay, really. Delft clay casting. The thing is, cuttlefish is such a loose type of material. The two halves go together, but there's still slight gaps. There's still areas for the air to go through. When you cut a channel, the channel isn't straight. It sort of goes in and out, in and out, in and out, following the soft, hard bits of cuttlefish. So the gaps and the sprue holes are going to be bigger, and that aids with the pouring of the silver or the gold. Now, when it comes to Delft clay, what you carve is what you've got. So the sprue that comes into it, if that is the size you've done, that is the size it is. With cuttlefish, if you brush away some of the dust, it gets slightly bigger. So you have to make sure that your pouring channel is virtually touching the actual model. So my email's coming through. So the pouring channel, for argument's sake, would come down and say, here is the ring. So basically the pouring channel goes straight into the ring. So it doesn't come along and do that and then down the sprue hole and into here, into the ring, because this is going to take so long for the silver to come down to here to try and get around. The smaller the mass of metal, the quicker it cools. So if you consider you've got a big mass of gold or silver, it comes down quite thin, it will cool quicker. If you have this and it's a nice thick area by here going into the model, it doesn't cool down fast because it's nice and big and thick and there's lots of metal coming down and the metal flows. This, it's all trying to squeeze through and then it solidifies. That is the problem. Also, what you don't want to do is use the two molds that go together like that, and you have to carve a pouring channel down the top like this and into the mold that is down here, because again the metal has to come down and then it has to stop and then go into the mold that way. So you've got to make sure, and this is the same with all different types of casting, lost wax casting and everything, the metal has to flow. There must be nothing stopping it, changing the direction or anything like that. So we sell, I want me to get some more for next week. We sell Durston's rectangular molds, and they are the rectangular molds that are like that, okay, and there's a hole here. And the idea is, because they're rectangular like this, you can have the pouring channel at the top and the metal flows straight down into the ring, and because gravity plays a great part, this flows down and it'll go around here, around there, and it'll fill up your mold. If you have the rings that come with the Delft clay, it's very hard, you can do it, but it's very hard to get a successful cast on a ring because of that. In the past, what I've done this 20 years ago, okay, when I've had my mold like this, I've made the pouring channel nice and big, but I've got like a sprue coming down to there, and I've got like a sprue coming down to that one. So when the silver comes down, the silver splits and it goes down here, and then it's only got to flow halfway around the ring. If you have the metal coming in on the one side, the metal has to flow down and all the way around the ring. So by having a double sprue from the one pouring channel, it will get to the ring better. And if you do it that way with the rings that are like this, and I don't have any rings with me at the moment, but I will next workshop, and I'll be doing some casting, I'll be showing you exactly what I mean. So if you can grab yourself these rectangular molds, we sell them on the store, atthebench.store. Just search for rectangular molds. We sell them. I think they're about £27, something like that. I think we got about 5 left. We have to get some more for next week. But those are the best type because the metal flows down straight away. And not necessarily even into a ring. It will flow into whatever you've got, like a feather, a pendant, whatever. These molds are fantastic. The original molds that come with the Delft clay are good, but they do have their limitations because the metal has to come down and travel and stop. It works well in industry because the metal is so big, so massive, so hot, but on a small little scale like we've got here, the torches, as soon as you take the torch off the metal, it starts to cool. And I think the metal tries to travel down, it cools, and then it stops. But with this, it flows down, this one, and it cools, but it does fill the ring up. Louise is just finding a link for the rectangular molds there. They are cool. So that is exactly what I mean. And that is the reason why, again, you can't have anything less than about 2 millimeters thickness, 2 millimeters thickness when you come in to do pendants and rings and that sort of thing, because the metal cools down too quick. Rectangular molds, fantastic. Far better than the original molds that come with the Delft clay. I think Louise has put it all down there. Thank you very much. Rectangular molds. Good. Thank you all. Thank you, Louise, for that. Okay, Louise, let's. Do you have another question?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Okay.
Oh, excellent.
Diane is saying, any tips on how to be more accurate? I've just sent off for new dividers as mine flex. Not good for close pavé setting.
Definitely short dividers. Make sure that the tips are nice and sharp. They don't have to be long and thin. They are out of stock. We sold them and I get more coming in tomorrow.
Can I pop them? Is it these ones?
That's them, yeah. Actually, we do have them left, do we?
Shall I add them on a back order if they're coming in tomorrow?
You could do, yes. So these, I said out of stock, but put them in back order. Good. Right, so we sell dividers. They're 80 millimeters span. They're only short. The legs are quite short but chunky, so they're not gonna bend. And with all dividers, when you buy them, you really do have to work on them. They don't necessarily come ready. If you buy we do have the Alexander dividers that GRS sell. The dividers are about £150. They are beautiful, they are fantastic, they are ready to use straight out of the box. But usually a pair of dividers, short stubby ones, there's no flex, the legs on these are quite thick. You should be able to see from the photographic, Louise. You've done the allowed back orders?
I'm doing it now, just waiting for a load up.
The legs are sharp, the points are sharp, but you may want to just refine them, perhaps sand them, just to get the points. But they are really good. We buy them in dozens at a time now, and they sell out every single time. So these are the dividers. They're only how much are they, Louise? 5, 6?
They are £7.20.
Good. And don't forget, if you remember At the Bench, pop the At the Bench code in, and you can get your 10% discount off that as well. The 80mm span dividers. So yes, short, stubby, don't flex. You have to refine them. You may have to buff them with some emery paper to get nice points on them. Once you do, they are fantastic. So they are available now to back order. They'll be with me tomorrow. Louise, let's have another question.
Okay. Kristen is saying, have you seen the videos on Instagram where they place pieces of a setting to be soldered in green clay, then pour what I think is investment?
I'm getting sick and tired of these.
What?
These videos, I'm getting sick and tired of seeing these now. Nearly every single...
Can I finish reading the question out?
Yes.
Sorry, Kristen. Have you seen the videos on Instagram where they place pieces?
No,
I know. But yeah.
Sorry,
where they place pieces... so yeah, asking your opinions. I think we know your opinion on it. Where they place pieces of a setting to be soldered in green clay, and then I pour what I think is investment over. Curious if you have used or have opinions on this technique. Thank you for waiting, Andrew. Now you may answer the question. I've seen quite a few of these as well.
They are. Oh, they're everywhere. And I'm getting really tired and going, oh, not another one. It's not a new technique. It's been done for centuries. Plasticine. That's all it is plasticine.
But is it any good as a technique?
It's plasticine. That's all it is. I think so now.
Okay.
All it is, it's simply...
Don't just rant.
It's simply plasticine. That's all it is. Do Americans have plasticine?
Play-Doh?
Play-Doh, plasticine. As long as it is, all it is, you've got to put some plasticine down. You get the settings, you put them in there, because it's good because it'll hold them. You have to then... Okay, you have a mound of plasticine, and it's green, isn't it? It's always green. It can be any colour, right? So the idea.
I don't think it'll work unless it's green.
Shut up. So the idea is you put your setting in here, then you put another setting in. You squidge another setting, I don't know, you put a setting in here, another setting in here, another setting in here, and you arrange them like there. Or what they do, they get these lovely artistic swirls, and they have the little swirls like this, and they stick the swirls on the plasticine like that. Okay, and as long as the pieces are just above the plasticine, so the plasticine is there purely to hold them in place.
So as a technique, what are the pros and cons? I think that's what we want to know, Andrew.
This is the camera. I'm coming to it now. So you have to leave, you can't push it all the way into the plasticine, because you have to have a little bit of metal sticking above the plasticine, okay? So that is the idea. Then what you do, you put like a paper ring around it, you get some plaster of Paris, investment powder, you pour it on it, you then wait for it to dry, you take the plasticine off, and then when you take the plasticine off, you then have your investment powder with the little bits of metal then nice and safely secured. If you've got access to a laser, don't bother with this. If you've got access to a puck, don't bother with this. Completely waste of time. But if you haven't got access, it's a great way of putting your pieces of metal together safely, and then you come to solder them. The problem that I've had in the past is because you've got plaster of Paris, you've got investment powder, when you start to put the torch on it, sometimes if there's a bit of moisture left in it, it starts to crack, it starts to crumble. You have to make sure that you have a torch that is heavy, big enough, strong enough to be able to heat up not only those pieces, which is quite easy, but also this investment powder has to be heated up as well, otherwise it is going to act as a heat sink. And it does work. I have tried it. You can also have things like wolf clay, and we're still trying to get wolf clay as well in the store. Wolf clay, Pepe sells some brown stuff as well. They also, it's like the clay that you can do exactly the same thing, and you can then solder with the pieces fastened into the clay, and you can reconstitute the clay. Same thing with wolf clay as well. But that is it, yes. As a technique, it does work, but you have to make sure your torch is powerful. Not much point having these small little torches like this, or perhaps even something like this. It may not get hot enough because the investment powder sucks the heat away. Sorry, Louise, I'll shut up now.
Okay, have you got a glass of water to drink now when I'm reading the question?
I have, yes, thank you.
Are you ready? Okay. Mir is asking, I've seen a beautiful style of ring whereby it has gemstones peeking through an organic style crack in the metal. I was wondering how to try and recreate this. Because is that the, I'm thinking, it's reminding me of Lee's, like his lava pendants that he does, his lovely lava pendants, that sort of lava rocks, he calls them, yeah, and they're lovely.
Yes, and he does that with Delft clay. He puts, and I have a piece out there actually, we did some Delft clay casting. We had a ring, we put the ring in the mould, took the ring out, then we got some stones that we actually put into the...
Shall I get it?
Yeah, it should be in the stand.
I know the one you mean.
Yeah. Then you put the...
I forgot you've done them too, sorry love.
You put the stones in the mould and sort of tuck them and support them in the sand, so when the metal goes in, the metal then forms around the stone. The problem being with that type of technique, it's like called stones in place casting. You can do it with lost wax casting as well, where you put the stones in the wax. Thank you. It's like a thing overhead. I don't have my close-up cameras. Let's see how close we can get with this camera, just to see. It's quite an organic look, as you can see. So as you can see, we've got this really organic look, as you can see there, and the stones have to be able to withstand heat. These are some rubies that we had in on a scrap ring, and I simply just took them out and just placed them in the mould, and the metal then was cast around it. You have to use stones that can withstand heat. That is how I think it would have been done. You may find that perhaps it was cast with like an organic crack in it, and then perhaps the metal just pulled back a bit, the stone put in, and then burnished back over. It may have been done that way, but without seeing it, it's really hard to see. Lady in America called Polly Wales, fantastic. If you go onto her website, Polly Wales, have a look at these style of rings, and she does some fantastic pieces, and I think she's basically world famous for doing stone in place casting. It has to be done with stones that can withstand heat, so you can't necessarily have things like cubic zirconias, CZs. You can't have things like amethyst or citrines or topazes. They will not withstand heat. They have to be things like diamonds, yellow diamonds. They have to be things like rubies, sapphires. Again, you have to be careful because they can't be filled or fracture filled or anything like that, because the heat will absolutely kill the stones. My lead's being pulled out of my monitor, so I can't see anything.
Oh, was that me when I went to get you?
Yes.
Oh, hang on.
Thank you. We've got leads everywhere today, and we're all just trying to push it up.
This one.
Not that one. It was the one you were fiddling around with. Yeah. Ah!
I got it.
I'm a bit wonky, but that's fine.
Well, here we are. Nothing new there. Okay.
Thank you, Maria.
Okay.
So there we go. So Louise, let's have another question.
Okay. Joe is saying, how long does the discount last? I think it's finished now, isn't it?
Easter discount is finished. It finished midnight last night. But this discount here on the board, at the bench, if you want to pick up anything from Pickup Media, it's indefinite.
Okay. Tracy Marie, I'm in the US, they're not applying, but curious to know what a CV is. Is it the equivalent of a resume? Yes, sorry, it's a resume, exactly that. How how do I, Mira's saying, do I melt an ingot with the gemstones like in the molten pendants? Yeah, we done that, didn't we? If so, how do I finish them? The ones I've seen are highly polished.
Okay.
I can send over an image if need be, sorry.
Yeah. We've done some films at the bench where we have some sapphires or some rubies, and we place them upside down on our block and got some molten metal, and we put some molten metal on top of it, or vice versa, melt a little blob, get the stone, push the stone down into the blob so the metal comes over slightly. You can polish them the usual way. Because they're going to be corundums or diamonds, you should be able to polish them with your normal sort of polishing mops, flex shafts and that sort of thing with some Tripoli, and you should be able to get really good shines with them. But I think they're good. You can never guarantee exactly how they're going to look, and if you go on to Lee Appleby, his name is jewelerlee.com. I think jewelerlee.com. Search for his. They weren't Lunar, were they?
Lunar Rocks.
They were Lunar Rocks.
Was it Lunar Rocks or Lava Rocks?
No, she was Lava Rocks. Lava Rocks. Yeah, so go on Lee's website, have a look. He's got some Lava Rocks or Lunar Rocks, can't remember what it is. He's got some examples on there, the sort of things that he does. Absolutely. Cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
Excellent, thank you, Louise. Let's have another question.
Okay, Mike is saying, I am curious about doing wax carving to send off to be cast. I know there is shrinkage involved. How do I adjust to make sure that the stone settings and ring sizes come out correct in the casting?
So yes, you do have to allow for shrinkage. We did some CAD-CAM files. I had 5mm stones in the drawings in the CAD-CAM, but when they came back, I had to take off about 1/5 of a millimetre off the stone to allow it to set into the setting. So you do have to allow, I'd allow say about 10%, 10% extra, bigger, to allow for shrinkage. It depends. If you're using wax, make sure the stone goes in and the stone you can just about wiggle it back and forth, and that should be enough. If you're using things like resins, there's obviously an element of shrinkage. Another thing to think about, if you're using wax and you're making up a master, and from that master you make a mold to make waxes to make more of, so mass production, your wax has to be quite a bit bigger, because when you get that cast, it shrinks a bit. You make your mold, okay, then you get the waxes injected into the mold, they will shrink a bit, then those waxes then will be cast, they will shrink a bit more. So going down the line, it's an awful lot. But if you're making one off from one piece of wax, about 10%, it's about 8 to 10% would be sufficient, just to make sure it doesn't shrink too small and you can't get your stone out. Yes, next.
Okay, you've got a little way to go till tea now. Michael is saying, my 5-month-old fixed saw frame broke the other day, so I'm back to using my adjustable saw frame. The handle broke off the frame.
Piggy bank.
Oh no. Okay. Let's move on. Tess is asking for tips on joining fine bezel wire. It's so fine and I can't seem to file the edges flush.
You really do have to make sure you file them flush. You could always get a pair of parallel pliers. I can't show my close-up camera because that's my close-up camera. But if you've got the overhead camera, so you could put them in a pair of parallels so the metal just sticks through the edge here, and you can come along and file that flat. You can use what we call is a mitre block like this, and there's a 90-degree one there. You can pass the metal through the gap so it comes out, then you can file it flush on there. You need to be able to support the metal. I know what you mean. You try and put it on your block and you're filing it and the metal is always moving, but you use something like these mitre blocks, parallel pliers, to hold it really close to the edge. So when you file it, the metal doesn't move. Excuse me, you should be able to get those ends nice and flush. Yes, Louise.
Okay. M. Vaughan Green has made a really good point. Is the workshop on a bank holiday? We said a week Monday, didn't we? Is there another bank? There's another bank holiday.
Oh, not another one, surely.
I think so. Yeah, it's bank holiday Monday, a week Monday. Yes.
You're the boss now. You don't get any. You don't get any holidays. So what are we on now?
Today's the 19th. Yeah, Monday the 2nd.
Which is the
Monday.
So it's Tuesday then.
You're going to do it on the Tuesday, 2 weeks today. 2
weeks, it has to be Tuesday.
We need to check.
Yes.
Yes, because it may be later on in the day.
Yes.
Depending on, so we're going to have to come back.
Yeah, we will have to double check with you on this, guys. Yeah, it will be on the Tuesday. We're not quite sure what time of day. It may be the usual time, 2 o'clock, but it may be tea time. Have to get our tea in beforehand.
We will.
To cater for those people in America and so forth in Australia who can't get to the workshops at the usual times when we do it. So we will certainly let you know. Yes, Louise, some other question.
Good. Razvan is saying you do a wonderful thing. Keep it up. Oh, fab.
Thank you.
Okay. Val is saying try getting some cuttlefish. They only really small ones, so I've ordered some online.
Good. Go to eBay. eBay are really good, and I know eBay sells big, thick, chunky ones on eBay. Absolutely.
Good. Joanne, have you done any water casting or have any pearls of wisdom?
Have done water casting. You just have to experiment. There's no real surefire, guaranteed way of getting repeatable results. Again, we've done some films on At the Bench quite a few years ago now, where we had a metal bucket, we had some water, we had a crucible, melted the silver, and we dropped it from different heights to see what the effect was going to be. I think, if I can remember right, the higher the pouring, higher you pour it, the more small and little bits and pieces it is, because when you pour it and it comes down, it breaks up into small little pieces. If you pour it in a shorter little distance from the water, it doesn't break up on its way down, and you get larger pieces as well. But it's not a surefire, guaranteed way of casting. You just have to keep pouring and pouring and pouring, see what they're like. You may have 2 or 3 little pieces that you can use, then you're going to melt the rest down again. So, pearls of wisdom, practice, and don't be put out. But just, you have to make sure that you have to just experiment. Do it from like an inch above the water, perhaps 6 inches above the water, a foot above the water, just to see how the pieces turn out. Yeah. And do you pour it quickly, or do you just do it slowly? Practice. Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Julia is asking any plans to stock the Hold It clay for soldering. Looks really useful, but only seems to be sold by Otto Fry.
Yeah, we're trying to get wolf clay.
Wolf clay. Okay, is that the same thing then? Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what's happened to my hair. Right. Mariana is saying, where can I find the mandrel that shows millimeters? Or a mandrel that shows millimeters?
Ooh, a mandrel that shows millimeters. Never seen one. Never seen a mandrel that shows millimeters. I think there'd be too many marks on the piece if they were engraved. Don't know. I know upon a ring stick towards the end, there's a millimeter gauge, and that is to gauge the width of rings and that sort of thing. But I've never seen a mandrel with millimeters down it. No idea, sorry.
Okay.
We have to do some investigating into that. Wrong one,
I think that's it. I think we've done all the questions.
No.
Yep. Mike is saying regarding the cuttlefish, come down to Sussex. I picked up 30 or so cuttlefish this weekend off the beach at Eastbourne.
Nice.
And Victoria is saying yes, loads in Ramsgate.
Ramsgate and Eastbourne.
I wanted to go for a glunk yesterday, but we left it too late, didn't we? We never park anywhere near the coast.
We left it too late.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
What?
Yes, we left it too late. Right. Is that about it then?
That's it.
Is that it? Wow. Yes, we were late today. I do apologise for coming on, and it is the day after the bank holiday. My mistake, my problem, because I tripped over one of the cameras and broke one of the connectors. That's about it, I think. And again, thank you for all the orders that came in of using our Easter discount. That is brilliant. Thank you so much. As I said, we got through about a third of the orders today. Try and get the rest finished tomorrow. More films going live on At The Bench tomorrow. Trying to finish off Louise's La Croix inspired pendant. That should be finished off tomorrow with a bell.
Exciting!
Don't forget, we have a job application going here in our workshop downstairs in the retail side of the store, the Andrew Berry Jewellery. You can go to andrewberry.co.uk. No, it's not .co.uk. It's not. Andrew, it's .com, you dip.
Oh dear.
It's andrewberry.com/jobs. So you can go onto there, find out what it's all about. We're after somebody who can come to work with us on a temporary contract for 3 months. We want your 3 years minimum bench experience. We want you to be able to do like a basic understanding of repairs, basic understanding of melting and making, perhaps do some setting, that sort of thing. Your social media has got to be fantastic. Your ability to converse with customers has got to be there as well. So that's why I'm not doing it, because I just can't converse with customers. But if you're interested, you want to know more, it's andrewberry.com/jobs. Okay, if you want to go to andrewberry.com, bottom of the stage page, it says job opportunities, but that'll take you
I just posted the link in the chat.
Thank you, Louise, thank you. To save me waffling on. And then you can also then send your CV, covering letter, some pictures of your work and so forth to jobs@andrewberry.co.uk. If you want to know more, you can always message Louise at andrewberry.co.uk as well, but that's rubbed off. And don't forget, Pickup Media. If you do want to buy anything from Pickup Media, we love the products. They're not cheap, they are quite expensive. Oh, got my steps in. It's good. Just
how have you done that?
Oh, I'm just running around like this. Don't forget, if you go to Pickup Media, if you enter in the coupon code @thebench, you can get, I think it was £50 off, $50 off. I think it's off shipping. But that's really good. Yes, Louise.
Tom is asking, do you have to move to the UK? I'm afraid you would.
Well, no, unless you want to commute.
Well, yeah, we could commute.
Yes, it has to be in our workshops here.
Yes, yeah, we should have mentioned that, shouldn't we?
Yes. Yeah, and it's going to be a really fantastic opportunity because you get to work with the likes of Louise and Lee, and you're working on the bench next to us, and you just have everything at your disposal. If you want help with your personal projects as well that you're doing, we're always on hand to answer your questions when it comes to that as well. So I think it's a really, really good opportunity for somebody who has time. And we're looking roughly around about 3 days a week. And it's going to be, and they'll be quite flexible with their hours as well, haven't they, really? And I think it's going to be really good. So don't forget andrewberry.com/jobs.
Exciting.
Anything else you want to say, Louise?
Oh, negotiate. Can move to Somerset.
Tom, can I move to Somerset? You can do, Tom. It's about
hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half's drive. You have to commute if you wanted to. You're more than welcome. Yes. That's about it. I'm lost for words now, which is not like me.
It's very rare.
Very rare.
Very rare.
So any more questions you want to
We've done our questions. This almost never happens. High five. Actually, Andrew, big tens.
What are you on about? This lingo you were picking up from these young kids.
Young kids.
So there we go. That's all we're going to do. That's it. We're going to disappear tonight. We're going to disappear on time. So thank you all very much for coming on today. Don't forget, another Q&A next. Are we back on Monday?
Yeah.
We are back on Monday.
Oh, yes. Well, we're coming back. We're travelling. Yes.
So we're here Monday.
We can be here Monday.
Yeah. So back regular Q&A next Monday, 4 p.m. and the workshop will be the following week. So that's 2 weeks today. It'll be on the Tuesday because bank holiday Monday, and it's going to be all about sand casting. And we're going to be having a special coupon code for you to get 10% off all your casting needs on the At The Bench store as well. Yes, Louise, you gasped.
Janet said, I won't be applying because I don't want to move from the Canary Islands. Well, I have an idea. We could just do a swap for the 3 months. I could work from your place in the Canary Islands because really I could work remotely and you can just come and work in the workshop. So you just come and work in the workshop. You can base What do you think about that?
That's very good, yes.
Didn't miss Mrs. Lloyd this week, no.
No, we've had nothing at all. That's strange.
Very strange, isn't
Mrs. Lloyd's gone. All right, everyone, that's about it. Thank you very much indeed. Don't forget, keep these. Yeah, have a look at these. Okay, so andrewberry.com/jobs, jobs at andrewberry.co.uk. Pick up media at the bench is your code to get your discount. So that's about it. If anybody else wants anything, Miss Lloyd, there's no appearance from Mrs. Lloyd. Perhaps she's moved on. You never know. Thank you for great advice. You're more than welcome. And sorry we were late coming on today. My fault. Broke one of the cameras.
No swaps either. What a spoil sport.
No swaps?
No Oh, Marianne's saying thank you for reading my question about filling, and Andrew for answering. I cried, and we'll try this. Oh, don't cry. We can always help.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, have another go.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
That's what we say. Okay.
Keep going.
That's about it.
Mrs. Lloyd tripped Andrew at the beginning. Yeah.
Yes, perhaps she
Happy
did.
springtime. Oh.
Plasticine and adjustable saw frames. Just Michael.
Alice saying I would have gone beach combing years ago. Problems walking these days. Can't get my mobility package to drive on the beach. Oh.
Oh, bless. All right, excellent. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much for your time today. Really do appreciate it. That's about it. Should we go?
I think so, yeah. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Penny. Great, and you're very welcome, Kenneth. Yeah, I can't believe we answered all the questions. Don't know what to do now.
That's because we were late on. People just got bored waiting, I think.
Yeah. Oh, cool. You're very welcome, Michael. Excellent.
All right, so everyone, take care. We will see you next Monday for the regular Q&A, Monday 4 p.m. And don't forget, we've got a workshop coming up. It'll be on the 3rd of May, 2nd of May, 3rd of May. Tuesday.
Yeah.
I think it's the 3rd of May. All about sandcastling, so keep an eye on social media for that. Don't forget, if you want a job, get in contact with us. Louise, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Everyone, take care. We will see you all next Monday. Have a lovely week. Take care. Bye.